Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Marriage, Ministry, Motherhood. I am, of course, Tamara V. Lawrence, and I've been here with you for, I don't know, about a month now. And as the name suggests, we look at all things to do with marriage, to do with ministry. I'm a missionary, full time missionary for 8 years, and a mother full time for 4 years to a 15-year-old. So motherhood is somewhere in there. And basically, we've just started. And if you, in listening, find something that interests you, I'm going to ask you to click that subscribe button and also the notification bell so that you can hear what I have to put out every Sunday. And if there's something also that you hear that you know, my Uncle Johnny or my auntie this can benefit from this, I ask that you share it as well. This month we've been looking at ministry, and last week I looked at some tips for being prepared for ministry. And today we're going to look at the advantages and disadvantages of being in ministry as a family. And of course, as a mother and a wife, I can tell you all the advantages and disadvantages from my perspective. And I also could tell you about how it affects a husband and a father or a daughter. But I thought it would have been best to ask my husband and my daughter to be here to share firsthand the advantages and disadvantages that they face. So I asked Richard and Layla to come and join me on our sofa. Hello, Layla. Sit down.
Hello.
And here's Richard. So we're going to share with you some advantages and disadvantages of being in ministry. And in speaking about it yesterday, Layla said some things that really I felt, oh my, I've never been an MK, I've never been a mission kid. Um, So to hear her share some things from her perspective, I did not try to give any prompts or anything. I just asked, Baba, what are some of the good things about being the child of missionary parents? And what are some of the, bad things? And she shared some, and she's going to share them with us. What do you want to start with, Baba? The good things or the bad things?
The bad things.
She want to start? Okay, you want to start with the bad things. What are some of the bad things, or things that you don't like about being the child of missionary parents?
Because you have to listen. You have to listen to your.
You have to speak louder so they can hear you.
You have to listen to your. You have to, if you're in church, you have to make sure you take staff to do it. And if you don't, you're not allowed to come out. You're not allowed to come out from church. And if they say no, you have to stay in there.
The pressure, huh? When she said that, I couldn't help but think, oh my, do we pressure her to be an example all the time? Yeah. So anything else, Layla? You were saying last night that you feel like you always have to be reverent, even when other children
Yes.
are not being reverent. You felt like you always have to be.
And yesterday they went outside and I couldn't. You guys had a sermon.
Ah, yeah.
That's why.
Yes, we were speaking. Well, Richard was speaking, and I sang, and she had to sit there and stay put. She couldn't go outside with the other children and play. And she's like, "Oh, even if it's boring,
I have to stay.
you have to stay." Okay.
Okay.
Oh, give me a second. My battery is going. Yeah. So I am really sorry about that one, forcing you to do something. It is precious sometimes, and we don't tend to realize it as the parents. But anything else?
No.
No. What are some of the good things then?
So here.
Yeah, that you were saying.
That you should that if you're a missionary children, you have to spread the news to the people, and you have to make sure you're not you have to make sure that you spread the news to God so that other people can hear and they can worship Him.
She felt like, as a missionary child, that she gets to learn how to share God. And I guess that's true because you see it all the time, so you get to learn that. That's good. Another one?
Homeschool.
Ah, you like homeschool? Okay, that's good. And the third one you told me.
Meet lots of others.
Speak louder. You get to meet lots of other children.
Meet lots of children.
So even though you're an only child, there are many children to play with on the campus.
Yeah.
Yes, she really does like that. Thank you, Layla. And as I said, when she shared last night and I wrote them down, I thought, wow, maybe we shouldn't put that much pressure on her to always having to stay put. If the sun has set, it's already not Sabbath anymore. She can go out. She does not have to sit there. And I guess also for me, that's not just because she's a mission kid. She's a girl, and even though it's a campus, then it's safe. I don't like the idea of her just being outside, playing. It's dark. It gets dark really early and stuff. So it was more like that. But she sees it as, because my parents are preaching, I need to sit here and I need to be reverent. So I guess that's something we really have to look at. Father, can you share for the men who are listening, who are wondering, is am I making the right decision? Packing up my family and running off with them to the mission field. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages that you can tell the men? Okay, these are some of the good benefits of packing your family and taking them into the mission field.
Well, let's start off with some difficult things.
Okay.
Let's keep the trend.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so some of the difficult things, I think I might have mentioned in the past. I'm not sure if it was on your channel, but it was to do with making sure that you can provide as a husband to a family, as a father. You want to make sure they have what's needed, and when you're a missionary, sometimes your position, not all of them, but sometimes your position involves not having funds, surviving or living off donations, and having that in your mind, thinking that you want them to have things for everyday life, but you also want them to have the odd nice treat and whatnot, because it's you live in life, you want to enjoy life also. And you have to get into your mind that it can't be, it's different. You have to be more minimalistic, but you find other creative ways. And plus, you have to say, Lord, I'm working for you now. That means you have to take care of my family. And for me to get to that point, it was a little difficult, because I've always been in control of my own finances. I consider myself pretty good at that, and letting that go, give it to the Lord. And it was better once I got my head around it and said, Lord, you do it. And as soon as I did that, like, it was a lot easier. But getting to that point was difficult. It's like jumping blindfolded over a bridge that's broken. It was very, very difficult.
Okay, so main one, being afraid of not being able to look after your family. You have another one for us real quick?
Yeah, well, being away from home, if you got parents, and if you have brothers and sisters like I have, that means you're the collective like of your child having a community, a family community, like uncles, aunties, cousins. They don't get to grow up with them as much, um, as if we were there. And that's, I guess, that looking at my family and their pictures and stuff, I really want my daughter to be a part of that. But you can't have your cake and eat it, you know. And so we're making, we try to involve Layla in communicating with her family back home, so she can feel a part of that community. But obviously, nothing's same
Better than
as
being
being
there.
there. I mean, now we can travel home more often because we're closer to home. But we've gone years
Yeah,
without going. Years, even now, we haven't gone to your home.
yeah.
So this is what it is, and yeah. So those are the
Okay.
hard things.
All right. Okay. I'm sure some men out there be like, "Yep, I can see that being something that I'll struggle with."
Yeah.
But so now, tell us the good things.
Well, if you love to travel, if you like culture, if you love doing God's work, it's perfect.
Okay.
And um, and to be honest, you know, the same disadvantage of being away from your family is also an advantage. Not because you shouldn't be close, but it's like you gain a bond, like a different type of bond. Like that short and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Our visits to like England or something is like short and sweet, and it's nice that I can go there and visit as and when we can, and it's a powerful union.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also I think I like the lifestyle. I feel like I have purpose. It's not like I'm working at a job and it's for somebody else's dream, which is not a dream that you're interested in. You're just doing the job for life, maintaining life or lifestyle. It's kind of like you working for God, for others, and it just has a different feeling to it. You know, it's like having a passion that you will work that passion even if you didn't get paid for it.
Mm.
And that's like people only experience that during their like retirement ages if they gather enough funds over the years. Now they can do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to do that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So.
good. That's good. Well, men, I hope you're listening. I really do hope you're listening. That it's not the end of the world. It's actually a really good thing.
And but before you continue, like I also realize like with the same disadvantage with the funds, it's also been an advantage because now like we still okay we can't like okay it's like we once we give ourselves over to God, it's like He's taking care of our desires as well as our needs. And not obviously not all our desires. Our desires always outweigh, but we we've done stuff together. We've done some amazing things together. In different parts of the world. We've traveled all over the world, all over the Americas. Now we're in Europe. We've done some things that if I had a job, maybe we couldn't afford.
That's true. That's true.
So,
And thank you guys. Thank you, Layla. Thank you. And thank you, Rich. But from a female point of view, I was trying to think of some disadvantages, and yes, there's some, especially if you're in a position like I am. I am the school principal. So I am, though we live on the campus, I am not at home most of the day. So though Layla is homeschooled, before we it became where all the children on campus, all the MKs, the mission kids, are in one schoolroom and we have somebody teaching them their homeschool work. Before that, because Richard's the boys dean, he was home more. So he was the one homeschooling. And I felt really terrible because I'm the mom. I'm the one that's supposed to be teaching her all these things, especially she's a girl and she needs to learn household chores and all those things. And I was feeling really terrible that I'm not the one that's able to be there with her, teaching her how to be a woman. So I would try my best to make up for that by when I get home in the afternoon, I play with her and I do things and we have these girl moments. So that's a huge disadvantage, not being able to actually be the one to homeschool. Um, and also, yeah, actually, that's one of the biggest ones I can think of. Because regarding Richard and being a wife, I found more advantages to that. Because I remember one moment when we were in Guyana, we were teaching, and there are no walls in the classroom, and we were sharing a chalkboard. So he was on this side teaching the ninth grade, and I was on this side teaching, I don't know, the 12th grade, not 12th, they don't finish at 12 in Guyana, the 11th grade. And we were both writing on the board, and we got to the end at the same time, and we looked around, we saw each other, we smiled, you know, almost, I can't remember if we kissed or something, but the whole school erupted if we did. But I know it was such a great moment, you know, and we loved that. We loved the fact that we get to spend our days together. And even though here now in Romania, I'm in the office and he'll be at home more, it is where we call each other for every little thing. Oh, guess what just happened? Da, da, da. When we come home, we just catch up, and it did something for us that I can't even begin to explain. So the advantages for me outweigh anything else. And regarding Layla, as I said, it is where, even though I don't get to homeschool her, it is where, okay, I left something at home. I'll call Rich. Can Layla bring down? And she'll come down and we spend these moments together. Or it's just where she comes in the office, Mama, I come to see you. And I'll stop whatever I'm doing. We'll get a cuddle and we'll talk. And she'll tell me about the little boy who just did da da da. Because we're all here together and we can spend this time together. We get to have breakfast, lunch, and supper together every day. And also, I love the being a part of a huge, wider family. We're looking to move to England for a few months, and we were Friday night at one home, Sabbath at one home, Sunday night we just came back from another home, because you build this big, wider family. And not to mention those I left back in Guyana that my heart breaks for. So the people that we meet along the way, I think, not like they can replace my mother, my father, but I have like three ma. They're three mas. And, I put, oh, happy birthday, ma, and stuff like that. And it's great who I get to meet. And also for me, the learning experience. I love to learn, not just from books, but in being a mother, a first time mother to a child that's almost 15, but taking a child at almost 11 years old, she was in 3 months, she would have been 11. I had to learn a lot of things quickly. we did, didn't we? Because you don't have them from birth, and while they're still 3 months old, you make a mistake, but you learn it by the time they understand, you get it right. No, we had to get it right from the beginning. And where did we get that from? From all the missionaries that were around who have their children. I learned that, okay, what she's doing is not because she's adopted, it's because she's a child. Yeah. And this is not because you're a bad mother. It's just, situation. I learned a lot from the mothers that I'm on the campus with. As you know, I like to, and then I come home and I'm ready to implement something new, and, and stuff like that. So I really, really found more advantages than there are disadvantages. And so if you're thinking to pack your family up and go into mission, Layla, do you think they should take their children and go be missionaries?
Hmm.
You think it's a good idea? Okay, Rich, would you encourage men to take their family and go do mission?
Yes, I think if the Lord's called them,
They should.
they should. Yes.
And would I say go take your families and go into mission? Don't be afraid of it. I know we have only one, but we have 64 on this campus. And as I said, he's the boys' dean, I'm the principal. So we are, you know, responsible for all 64. Um, so don't be afraid of it. It's way worth it. Yes, there are many disadvantages. I've heard other missionaries say that I was so busy. It was at 10 o'clock in the night that I had to homeschool my child, and or then I had to send them off to study because I couldn't. No, those are bad. There are really some bad things in there because the mission really can suck you in. Yeah. So one of the biggest things, Han, isn't it, that
Yeah, it's about
finding that
balance because
balance.
and it's important to find that balance because if you don't, then your family doesn't become that example.
Yeah, that's it.
You know.
Remember, you're missionary to your family first. Yeah, because yes, even though we won't let Layla go out and run about like the other children, it's because we have to be the example. And no, not like we want to put pressure on her, but
Yeah,
you
and
have to
plus,
find
like,
that balance.
you have to find time for each other. Like Layla and I will have time. You and I will have time. You and Layla have time.
Yeah.
You know, so we gotta have. I know we have time as a family together.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, you're just you have a lot of energy that has to that you have to share with people. And if you want to share it, then you can't be depleted. You can't. Your family can't have have communication problems or something like that because then your fortress is weakened and you can't really be effective. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So build with your family, go out for vegan ice cream and spend that time because it's very important. But thank you so much for staying with us. I know the video is a bit longer this week, but it was very necessary and I'm happy to have my favorite people in the world here with me sharing as we look at the advantages and disadvantages of families being missionary from our perspective and how it's worked for us and it's still working for us. We in January, that's what, 2 months, will be 8 years. 2 days ago, we celebrated 3 years being in Europe as missionaries. And are we gonna keep being MFLs?
Rah rah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
But we're also Element, Lawrence Family Mission. We're a family mission, huh?
Yeah.
And we'll keep being that way. So just remember to tell them to like, Layla. Like.
She can do the thumbs up.
Yeah. Yes. To give it a thumbs up. Yes, like Layla's little thumb. Give it a thumbs up.
Drop a comment.
Drop a comment.
We like to hear if you're a missionary or if you've been a part of our mission in another place, just to say that, oh, that's why you did this.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, because I'm sure we didn't cover everything, if you have any questions, you can ask. But subscribe, share, like, and I'll see you next week when we're gonna look some more into ministry. All this November, we're looking at ministry. And then we will go on December, as I said, into family. Thank you so much for being here. We love you and thank you for your support. Bye.
Bye.